the situation is changing entirely because people are beginning to pay attention. You're going to see things happening, and in the near future. A lot of people that don't want to talk to us and don't want to listen to us, these things are normal. That's unfortunately the normal state of being in the world of morons. And remember, Hollywood is in service to these people, to these creatures. And what does Hollywood teach you? If you fail, the enemy is fundamentally a parasite. It's always been a parasite. And, you can't expect anything else of them. All they know how to do is to parasitize and to obstruct and to destroy. Their approach fundamentally does not work. Social Galactic has terms of use that indicates they understand this subject in full, or at least better than I do, and better than the Legal Legion does. And it's massive corruption on a scale that the American people don't understand yet. We were planning to take a lot more time, get stuff more structured, more anti-fragile and so forth. And then Owen got booted from, it got demonetized by YouTube. And so, we basically just ad-libbed and turned everything on. And it's turned out it's turned out to be a lot more than we had imagined in the first year. But remember, unauthorized hasn't even been around for a full year yet. And this month is going to be February is going to be a slow month in terms of I need to get my Dorkstreams up there. You're probably aware. You're not aware of what I've been doing, but I've been extremely busy the last 4 or 5 days, and you're seeing things. You're going to see the result of some of those things in the relatively near future, but also, I'm not going to say much more about this, but there's a possibility of a reasonably large budget action game set in the world of A Throne of Bones. That it's a game design that I put together back in 2008 with an Australian game development company, and it never really moved forward for various reasons. But there's a big studio that is that approached me and said, "Hey, we like your designs. We really like the world you've created. Would you be interested in letting us use one of those designs?" So we'll see. We'll see. They're that desperate. You don't do something with such a low probability of success if you're confident of your position. We're very patient. We're waiting for the right moment to move forward on the right fronts. And, I know people are impatient. I know people are saying, oh, what's happening here? What's happening there? But we just need to bide our time and move forward at the appropriate moment. What's funny about this, and this is amusing if you actually look into it, This is a very hot topic and be necessary to do that. Part of my concern, as I mentioned in a stream a little bit ago, is that we may have actually fired more lethal ammunition than we had intended, and imposed on everyone like a red hot scimitar going through butter. We're going to give you piles. We've been banned from a lot of places like Twitter, and a lot of people have been banned from Facebook and that sort of thing. And what I found was that I was actually getting increasingly reluctant to fire up a Dorkstream, just because I really didn't feel like dealing with nonsense. I mean, if you're sitting there going, should I get 3 or 4 more pages written, or should I put up with, at least 10 or 15 people yapping about something stupid, you can see where you lose interest. You begin to lose interest in putting up with it. The more that you ignore that, and that's one of the reasons, by the way, that I think that we're going to, as I mentioned, I think we're just going to stick with members-only chats from now on. I don't see any benefit whatsoever to allowing entry to anybody, people that are not on our side. There's no reason whatsoever to allow the constant attempts at distraction, and we don't need it. Would you please put the latest Dorkstream up on UATV? Yeah, I'm going to be putting the missing Dorkstreams up on UATV. Probably not tomorrow, because tomorrow I'm going to be extremely busy. But tomorrow and the next day, they'll all be up there, including this one. It's not how I want to spend my time. One of my college roommates was running that that game division for THQ at the time, and he called me up and he's like, "Hey, do me a favor. Would you design some mobile games for me?" And so I actually sent him like 5 different concepts. One of them was what turned into Hot Dish. One of them was a wedding dress game, believe it or not. Because the whole idea then was to try to break out. They were trying to break out of the traditional gaming market and do stuff that was going to appeal to casual gamers, which is to say, of course, women. And, but I'm not, that's not the kind of game that interests me. That's not the kind of thing that I do. And it's always a little bit interesting. I think it's a little bit ironic that I get criticized, or, I would say it's interesting to find yourself mocked for something that you're hugely successful with. I mean, it's a just basic, horrible ripoff of Puzzle Quest. All those games are ripoffs of Puzzle Quest. And I'm very pleased that it did so well. On that note, I wish you all a good evening. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Vox Day. This is the Dorkstream.